Good morning, everyone. It's one of those kind of crazy days out here on the farm. Lately, with it being winter, I try to just take it easy a little bit more with the family and try to do some things. Been spending a little more time at Mass and doing some church repairs and stuff. But today it was, I think, 13, maybe 9 or 13 below. I forget how cold it was this morning. And it changed a few things. So we've got some repairs to do today. They're pretty simple repairs, but in one of our barns, the temperature dipped down. It did not freeze, but dipped down enough that some of the plastic changed, and one of our valves here, one of our float valves in one of the little giants went to heck. Now this is not the original float valve, as you can see. It's some Amazon version that I bought a while back. I won't be replacing with these. I will be replacing with little giants. They seem to last longer. So when the temperature got too cold, down in the 40s, something changed inside this one, and it went to heck, so to speak. So I got that to fix. On the outside, I think it's about -1 or 2 out yet, which is probably as high as it's going to get today. So we got to go out and work with some gates that have moved too. We're on heavy clay. There's sometimes moisture. Ground freezes, things move, gates move. A lot of people just let them go, wrap twine around them, duct tape them, whatever they got to do. But that's not me. So I've made my gates with long enough threading that I can make adjustments. So we're going to get out there and bear the cold and get it done, folks. So follow along as we get this going here today. Out into the cold we go. Cold days are always pretty days, at least. I just recently checked propane tanks, because when you're in this blasted cold, you don't want to run out on the farm. So there's a 250 down here, 500 on the shop, and 1,000 on the house. All three of those tanks get us through the winter. So we're doing pretty good right now. It's the 1st of February, and I think the lowest tank right now is at 50%. Obviously, the most efficient one is down here because the solar panels and electricity and all that require very little heat to be propane, so that's wonderful. We should get this, if we can, we'll see if we can get that silo filling inside the internal bin today too. She'll be pretty cold and froze up, but we'll see if we can get some of that feed moved. This is one of the gates that's giving me trouble right here. Yeah, kids aren't wrong on that. They had to chain lock it this morning. She's heaved up enough where she's not making it into position there. So we'll have to get this chain off. Get the fence turned down so we don't fry ourselves. I have to see what we can do there to... Yeah, we really can't change the height of that. So we got to get the gate over more. So we'll be playing with these guys over here, seeing if I can adjust them to get the gate over more. So we'll see what we can do. Probably want the gate to come up a little first. Because of that post being up, I think I'd like to try to get that gate to come up just a little bit first. For that gate to come up, I'm just going to pull that guy in a little, I think. Without hitting the other pieces of electric, this should work. So get this guy knocked down so we can get to that. There we go. I wonder if we can... Yeah, I'll probably just use a crescent for right now. See if that guy will go in one turn. See if we can turn that guy in one turn. See if we get this gate to come up just a little bit first. Actually, maybe you think about that for a second. Maybe I actually need to move these guys out a turn or two first. So if I bring the bottom one out, it's always a game of math when you do this, folks. I'm going to actually take the gate off, try to set it where I don't fry myself. Like that, maybe, so I don't got any hot on it. If I bring this one out, Try this a little differently once. Set that one back on. I need to get that guy knocked all the way around once. I want to try this once. I just want to see where that puts me once. Alright, just slide him up for just a minute. See how close I'm getting. Wow. I am pretty close right there to locking. So that would mean I'd have to take... Just trying to think for a second. I could either put a piece of wood behind this and bring it out more, which would be one way of doing it, or extend those more. Let's see how much more distance I can extend once. Okay, got that one extended. Now, let's see if we get... Let's go 2 times on this bottom one. See if I can make it. Can't get that guy back up. There we go. There. We are locking back in. All right, so now we gotta tighten up. Probably shouldn't have dropped my tool in the snow. It's not good for rust. But we'll get this guy tightened back up. Trying to make sure I lined it up right. Not like hanging a gate really crooked. I've learned not to over tighten these, not to crank on them. I've sheared a few of these carriage bolts right off doing that. Even though it's cold out here, gloves sometimes just don't help you. There. All right. Let's get a look at this here. So now we're back in the keeper nicely, which means we can put our safety chain back on perfectly. We're back over here. When summer comes, I might have to turn that back in a bit. Bottom's all nice and fixed up. Give juice back to you guys, and our fence is back up and running, which is nice. Yeah. That worked well. One project done, next one to go. right, girl, you gotta get out of my way. I gotta come through and see if I can fix the gate out here. Oh, no. Yeah, it's not milking time, guys. Yeah, I'm just trying to fix the gate out here. Let's see where I'm at out here. Okay, so that way she pushes, huh? So I gotta get the top in. Oh, that's not the worst one to kind of work on, but we'll do it. This one's bolted style. So I'm basically going to just unscrew those a bit, get the top to a drift over a bit, and we'll get this one back up and running, hopefully. A little bit more tricky, just because I don't want to fry myself. I got hot here, and I got goats everywhere, and that would probably not be the best to do. So we'll just try to get in here, get this guy locking back up here again, see what I can do. I need to get this guy to relax a little if I can. There we go. That guy relaxes. This guy would tighten back up, technically. That would actually shove that guy back into the locker. Let's do a hair more, and then we'll have to just... Yeah, I don't think I can pick the bottom one up. So I'll just tighten this one and see if we can still get her closed. There. See if she lets us close her. Feels like it's letting us close it pretty good. I think we got this one through the problem right now. Yep, and we need to get a chain lock on that one just for backup. I don't have one on there, so I'll get that done today too. Let's see if we can make sure that one's tight. There we go. Make sure that guy's tight. I'll check it one last time. Yeah, it's locking pretty good. All right, so that is how we fix a bolt one, which is great. And that helps a lot in this cold time of year too, to kind of get those guys all set and all fixed. So now we'll get our butts back inside and start working on that water. Not milking you today, girls, until later tonight. Before I get too far, and try and fill the rest of this bin up before it gets any colder. Cold is always hard on augers, folks. It's not easy to get the augers to run in the deep cold. And this one augers from the outside. She comes in from up there. So I'm going to go out and see if I can get this auger running today. See if she'll buck some feed in for me. Boy, she's froze up good. See if I can get some grain going. Sounds like she's starting to run a little. I'll see what I can do here. She's bucking her up into the barn. It's probably not coming real fast because of that cold. She likes to jam up that little motor. But she's pouring in. This is what I wanted there. In comes the grain. It's not real fast, but we'll take it. Get this thing all filled up. People like to ask about our grain. An alfalfa pellet, little sunflower seeds, some corn, some oats. This is a FAMO feed for concentrate in there, which is great. There's a little bit of mineral oil. There's some bicarb in it. I'm probably missing something in it, but it works really good for us here on the farm. Again, we'll just keep filling her up. Another task, another chore done for today in the cold. Finally back in the barn here. Gonna pick up some pails. These guys are knocking some things over. Hello, ladies. How are you? Let's see if we can get in this barn. Get the lights on in here. And that right there is the broken water. See if we can get that guy fixed. The off, unfortunately, is in this side, so sometimes I got to work between the two stalls. But right now I just got to set down all the tools and get my glasses fogged off, and then we'll get going. This is what I bought this time to make it go better. These are little giants. They float totally differently than the pieces of junk I was trying to use the other day. So this is what we're going to put in there and get that old one out and replaced. So it should work hopefully really well. I'd like to just show this real quick if I could. This little stopper in here gets full of junk and sometimes needs to be cleaned. And on this model you can take it apart and clean it. On other models you cannot. The other thing with it is like I said, it's a little bit more adjustable here with this nut than what some of the other brands are. And of course the threading is the exact same. So, and it's got of course the cork washer, but I got a rubber one in there, so I'll probably use that. And it's got its nut. So that's what we're going to install. So the first thing I got to do is get the water turned off to that other side, which means I got to come in here and I got to take off these couple screws to gain access. Dropped my bit there. Didn't want to do that. There we go. Boy, she's wedged in there tight, isn't she? There we go. We got her. Okay, then we got to find the line that goes next door, which is this one right here. Make sure it's still off. Good, it's off. I'll take my bits with me. That way I don't lose one of those to the goats. I'll go work on the other side. The other side's a little easier to work on right now because all the babies are in back with mamas. We've kicked them out of here so I can work. So I can actually leave the door open and probably get this done a little easier. So this one too has to come off. I think there are 2 screws over here that I got to quick do. Get those out of the way. That should loosen up the box. And then, you remember on this one, that loosens up. Can't remember if it's... I always forget which ones hold what here. I gotta remember. Well, we'll take them apart. It's been a few years since this was built, so we'll take it apart just so I can see. I don't remember which screws hold who in place. Okay. So, here we go. I think I'm good. This all can stay, I think, because I can actually reach it from here as long as I can get down to the key. So there's a fitting here. We're just going to take this fitting off. These fittings have like a, I wouldn't really call it an O-ring. It's more like a washer inside them, and if you over tighten these folks, they leak. So be careful of that. That is not the game plan. You do not want to over tighten that. So there's a fitting in there you don't want to over tighten. So maybe I'll take this off anyways if I can figure out how to do it. I'm going to try it once, see if I can get that taken off quick. It might make it easier to see if it leaks. Which there that goes. That gets my door off. Okay, there we go. So now we can really see the line, which is good. We'll get the hay out of here and poof off it and flip this up. And this is one of those generic ones again that goes bad for me. So we're gonna get that off. Get that off real quick here if I can. Shouldn't be too tough to do, I hope. Give me a crescent wrench. It's not easy to get that wrench where I want it. That's okay. We'll just get her in there anyways and keep working it. Once we get it a little bit loose, then you can work them free typically. I'm sure it's got hard water film in it or something, and the temperature change in here just pushed it over the edge, and then the next thing you know, it's leaking water and the bucket's overfilling. So we'll get her all fixed up. Get this guy out of here. See, in this one, just like I was trying to show you on the other one, I can't clean in there. You can't get in there, you can't work with it. There's really no good way of accessing it. You can pop this pin out, is about the only way to do it. And when you do that, sometimes they won't go back together nicely. And that's a real pain when you're trying to get to that inside little washer that's leaking on you. So I'm going to put the better stuff back in this time, folks, and not even worry about this. I'm going to let this one go, so to speak. It's not going to be one I'm even going to try to salvage. I don't know why I'm exactly putting it back together. I'll throw it over here on the counter and not worry about it. Okay. So now I got this guy back. And I've already got the washers on both sides already here. So I'm not even gonna attempt to do that any different. I'm just gonna see if I can get it on and try to get the float kind of set where I want in the bowl. See, like right now it's a little steep. I'm going to see if I can get it kind of set where I need it here. So I want it so that when the water lifts it, it shuts itself off. I think I'm going to be pretty close there. I'm just going to have to play with it a little. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get these things adjusted just perfect. You know what? When I look at this one was probably designed to go this way so you get access to it. So I think before I even start, I will take my crescent wrench and screwdriver and I will get this flipped around, this little nut, so it works in my application a little bit better, I think. Yeah, I'll just turn the nut around. I won't change position on anything. I'll work over the water bowl so that in case I lose it like I just did, I don't wreck something. Yeah, and there's a little lock one in between there. That's fine. I'm going to take this and turn it all around. I'm going to put it through this side. Then I'm going to put the little locker on it like it had. So that goes back on it. Put that guy back on it like it was. I think I'll put the nut on this side. Because a lot of times these things are a little easier to adjust by using the screwdriver end, which is fine. Put that guy back on there. This is the rubber one that I had in place from the old one. It should work really well still for this one. Let's see if I can get this guy back in that hole nicely. Just kind of test it a little bit. Make sure it comes up. Might want to turn that just a little. I think I like it about there. We'll have to kind of see here. Get that guy back on there. Grab my ring. Now these are plastic rings on here, so again, don't crank the crap out of them. Just get them snug. You crank them too much, you're gonna wreck your nut. You don't want to do that, especially in something you just paid for. So yeah, I'm gonna use a tool here in a second, but I'll have to be a little careful I don't over tool it. Otherwise, I might actually just grab a pliers too out of here. There we go. Get it lined up right if I can. Might just grab a pliers on that. I want to snug it, but I don't want to crank it to oblivion either. Just want to snug that in just a little bit more. There we go. That's feeling pretty good. I'm getting some nice lift in my bowl. That should be good. Yeah. that done. See how this guy's holding up, all the crap and everything on it from the hard water. Again, you just want to start these perfectly. It's plastic threads. And I like to just do finger tight. I'm not gonna do much more. Just gonna kind of sit back on it and make sure it fills and stops here, and we'll check for water leaks. Myself a rag. The water on this side has to turn on from over there. Get that water filling. So now the water bowl will be filling up. I don't know if you guys can see that or not there. So the water bowl fills up. I might have to turn it up a little bit more. And then when this picks up, it should shut off. So what we're going to do is we're going to let it fill up a little. I think I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more on the other side, give it a little bit more water. It's always kind of a pain going back and forth between two sides, but it is the way we designed it for maximum efficiency for valves and underwater lines. So again, it's filling up right now. You gotta check back here for water leaks. You don't want water leaks back here. If you do, you just gotta tighten it a hair more. So I'm just watching for leaks back here. Make sure I got it dry to start with, I guess. And then I'm letting the bowl just fill up a bit. And watch to make sure that the float shuts it off. It does bounce sometimes. That's not a big deal, folks. It's just the water's just at the edge of shutting it off, and the pressure's just pushing out a little bit more water in it. These waters work really nice for our goats inside here in the birthing stalls. So we like them, but they're a little bit of maintenance. I think this is the first time I ever replaced this one in, gosh, I'm going to say 3 or 4 seasons. So I think this one's on its 4th season now, so it looks like it's stopping just about. Just going to push it down to give it a little bit more water in the bowl, see if it completely stops it. And I got a nice height to the bowl. It's down about an inch before it. So this is about what I want for water in here, folks. This is about what I want. Now, once it's done putting water in, that's when you actually got to check this little side for leaks. Because if you're going to have a leak, it's after the bowl fills up and this shuts, creating pressure back in the line. This line runs at a pressure of around 40 to 45 psi. So that's just something everybody's got to kind of think about. Always make sure you check that at the end. Otherwise, that can screw you up. So right now it's looking real good. I got a nice depth here to my bowl where there's no water to the edge, so when they drink, they won't kill it. And then, like I said, when the float goes down, it's going to let water back in, just like that. I'm just listening to it here right now just so I can kind of tell when it totally shuts off. I'm adding a little water by assisting it. I want to make sure that that little valve goes completely quiet on me. And then a lot of times when I do a repair like this, I like to check them in a few hours. So we'll leave this open and not put this side back. We'll put back that side because there's a goat over there. But there's a mama over there with her baby. But we won't close this side up until we know we got no leaks. So right now, she's looking good. The bowl, as you can see there, is full to about right there. Everything is shutting off well and it's working good. So this repair is looking great. Eventually this will come back down into the water and it'll sit like that, preferably without the hay in it. And then that'll protect it. But for right now, I'm actually going to just leave it up a little bit until I get a good feel of how that goes. Gosh, all the crap on there. See if I can clean that up a bit. All right. I think we're doing real good here. It's looking real good, guys. I'm not seeing any water leaks, which is what I wanted. So this looks like it's a good repair, so we'll start shutting up the other side. So we're going to get this side put back together here, because we got a goat in this side. So since we got a mama in here, we're not going to probably leave this side wide open. So I will just take these guys out for the moment, because I'll put them back in tonight. And I'll just roughly put this guy back in place so there's no screws hanging out that mama can get me in trouble with. I just got to get that darn piece of wood back in there, okay. And it doesn't always like to go in on this one. There we go. I just don't want the screws hanging out and getting a goat caught on it. Doesn't do real good, if you know what I mean. Not going to tighten them up real tight, just enough that I can work with them. Again, just make sure they can't take them out. It's okay, little goatie. Still a scary tool, I get it. All right. Put my gun back together and keep these couple screws out here. That way I know it's safe for the goat. There's no way they're going to get hurt. I wait for the water leak to solve itself. Okay. Let's go back in on this side quick. I just want to see how we're doing over here. No issues. And dry as a bone. Good. This is all very good. But we're going to let her run for a bit. We'll let her buck. Let her have that pressure on it. All right, folks. Kids are growing well back here. Look how big they're getting. They are growing like leaps and bounds. It's fantastic. So, mamas are doing good. So there's another gate outside to repair. I got to get that done here for the next maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'll be on to other stuff for today. I appreciate you guys liking and watching and following along as we do some basic maintenance here today. It's kind of the way it goes sometimes on the farm. You get a cold snap like this, things break. But it's really easy to fix these waters. I'd highly recommend them. And as far as gates go, leave yourself plenty of thread, whether it's the screw-on ones or the bolt-on ones, so that you can make adjustments. Folks, have a great day. Please like, subscribe. Hey, if you use this on the mobile phone, hit that little bell so you know when our farmstead's putting out great videos like this. Thanks.